Weekend though with some ups and downs, but we were started out having fun.
Yeah.
When we were carving, doing our annual pumpkin carving.
Yes. Yes.
And yeah, I thought I'm glad we were able to, for a minute there, I wasn't sure we'd be able to get to this point where we're all kind of okay.
Yeah.
Yep. I know
Things
you
got a
guys
little
did
dicey.
not like what I was doing.
Well, and like, no, and like, here's the thing: is as I did when I finished my pumpkin,
Yeah.
and I was looking at it, I was feeling like I've really done a good job.
Mm-hmm.
Sure.
It was hard for me to really notice what you guys were doing because I was like, I love what I've done with this pumpkin.
Yes.
And so then when we were taking a picture and I wanted my pumpkin up front because I was like, obviously this is that I did the best pumpkin.
Yes.
I know.
I know that's what you thought.
I don't want to bring. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying.
Okay.
Yes.
I don't want to get back into it.
That's what you believed.
I'm just saying. Sometimes you make something for me, and I just look at it over and over again. I'm like, wow, I can't believe I did that. It definitely should be in the front of the picture,
Yeah.
foregrounded,
Yeah.
and the kind of the focus is there, and you guys could be bokeh out at the back of the picture more.
Well, my thing was that mine was so small if you put yours in front, and I'd made mine small because that's what you do. This is part of the issue. You guys didn't like how I was carving it.
Right.
I had big fork, big knife,
Yeah.
and I'm just kind of carving the pumpkin away,
Right.
Yeah.
getting around the pumpkin bones.
It's like when you have a big block of marble and you want to find were trying to find the pumpkin.
Find the pumpkin inside.
Yeah.
Yes.
Find the jack-o'-lantern.
I mean, there was that. That's one conceit for sure. One idea. But for me, it was like a big turkey.
Yeah.
Oh, we were going to carve the turkey. Well, you don't make a face in a turkey. I guess you could.
Yeah.
But that's not what people do. And
Not
so
usually.
for me, carving it was just simply disassembling the pumpkin in an orderly way that would be edible.
Yeah, and then that does really reduce the size of the pumpkin.
The
pumpkin
pumpkin's
is
very
like,
flat
like
by
an
the end.
atom, mostly empty space.
Right.
At
Right.
a certain point.
And so if my pumpkin's all carved out, it's just slices of pumpkin
Yeah,
and the goop on top.
yeah,
Which is, that's the right way to do it.
yeah.
Take the pumpkin apart, lay down all the slices, goop on top.
Right.
It's kind of like a gravy.
Yeah, it's kind of like
Sure, Gabe.
yeah, it is like a
gravy.
gravy. It is like a gravy, but
like
I
a
was also thinking
gravy.
it's like when Gwyneth's company was kind of at the top.
Yeah.
That's when-
Oh, true. On
When
top
there's
of the slices.
goop on top.
Goop is
So
on top.
right, but okay, if I got my pumpkin all done up like that, and I'm happy with it,
Right. Yeah.
and then you're gonna put your pumpkin in front of it. No one's gonna see what I've done with my pumpkin.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. No. Well, at the front. Yeah. I mean, that's ultimately what my initial, and I feel bad about that now, but that was my initial idea for.
I
how
just
the
thought of a
picture
way to
should go.
solve it.
What was that?
Make a little platform.
Yeah.
Maybe take apart another pumpkin.
Yeah.
Make a platform out of that pumpkin.
Right.
Put my stuff on top. Then your
Yeah.
pumpkin can be in front.
Right.
And I would be fine with that. I
Yeah.
just want people to see what they did with my pumpkin.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
What I did with my
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
They being my hands.
What? Yeah. Yeah. Sometimes I perceive.
What they did with my
Sometimes I look down at what my hands are up to, and I'm like,
Wow.
What are they
when
up
did that happen?
What are they up to today?
And Gabe, you're, I don't know. I guess maybe the less said about your
I'd
pumpkin,
say-
the better.
I
That's
mean,
probably
I
true.
would say Gabe's thing was it's not so much pumpkin carving as it is pumpkin whittling.
Yeah. Yeah. It's kind of, just shaving away everything that isn't
Right.
the jack-o'-lantern.
Yeah.
Kind of
Right.
as we alluded to.
Right.
Earlier.
Shaving away just little tiny bits.
Yeah.
Almost indecipherable from like maybe if the pumpkin got kind of like roughly treated.
yeah.
Mm.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Well,
I didn't see any kind of like image
And
showing up.
one of the interesting things about Gabe's pumpkin is that his chosen tool was just a safety racer.
Yeah.
He was trying to
Right. It
shave
was like a distressed pumpkin.
Right.
Yeah. What I was going for is that what if my jack-o'-lantern, my pumpkin, has been rolled through a gravel driveway.
Right. But
And the only way to accomplish that look
Yeah.
is with a safety
Yeah,
razor.
it's only
Yeah, if
reasonable.
And
you-
plenty of time.
if you actually did that, if you actually had a gravel driveway, rolled a pumpkin through it, you're actually not going to see.
Right. It's
You're
not-
not. That's not what's going to come to your mind.
Right.
Oh, you actually have to make it look like that with a safety razor.
Yeah.
Otherwise, people will think that it got like shot with paintballs or something.
It's just movie magic.
Movie magic.
Right.
That's what it exactly.
Yeah, it's kind of like makeup for a pumpkin. That's kind of what you ended up doing, isn't it? You shave off little bits. Gabe is letting the dog.
The dog
The dog came in.
The dog
thought she
came
might
in because-
have something to say.
because no one in my home respects me. They let the dog out here.
But the dog loves you. That's why she wants to be out here.
Yeah.
Mm.
Well, she came right over to you and has not paid any attention to me.
Well,
which is-
Gabe gave her the microphone right away.
I'm giving her a platform. I'm signal boosting your dog.
and to be fair, this is something. This outcome right now,
Mhm.
the dog coming out here, becoming part of the podcast,
Yeah.
is something that terrifies me.
Yeah, it makes sense. She might, use any of these situations to get an upper hand on you.
Yes.
To, as we know, the dog is very litigious.
The litigious
Very
animal
litigious.
is always looking for little mistakes that I make
Yep.
to exploit. She has a very competent lawyer. And I'm often representing myself.
Wow.
And,
And not as good as Matt Damon in
no,
no.
I
you
can't
haven't
say
done the work that
Blackwell says in his, seminal work on this. Obviously, I don't know.
Yeah, right. I mean, the case in point.
Right.
Case in point.
Case in point.
Your strategy
Boy, I'm
is
something of a lawyer.
Yeah. About
against yourself.
not knowing.
Be careful out there, Josh. Be careful.
I mean, that's the problem. That's continually the problem.
But Gabe's pumpkin, I would say it does deserve, maybe to be a little bit to the right
Mm-hmm.
of your pumpkin.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Still, yours is forefront. Gabe's is up there. It's all different ideas.
Yeah.
Is that okay if I just cough right into the mic?
Yeah.
Well, it's definitely something you've done before. As,
this
as the
time I-
person who edits this,
This time
it's-
I really did it really on purpose. Other times I've made accidents. This
It's-
time it was concerted effort.
For me-
don't move the mic.
for me, when you do that, I look down sort of the hallway of time, and I'm like, now I'm gonna have to deal with that, and that scares me.
Advanced answering techniques.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to Advanced Answering Techniques. I'm your host, Josh. I want to give you an opportunity to hear what I sound like. Sometimes our listeners get a little confused. Some of our voices are really similar. This is what I sound like. This is a podcast where we receive questions from our users, and then we are able to answer those questions with our patented advanced answering techniques. That's the whole idea here. And I'm joined by Caleb. This is what he sounds like. Hi, I'm Caleb. This is me. Did you think that was Caleb? Well, it isn't.
Oh, you simpletons. No. This is what I sound like. See? You got to stay on your toes.
Stay on your toes with
Stay
us.
on your toes with us. I'm Caleb. This is what I sound like.
Yes,
And then
this
we'll
is-
go over to Gabe.
And this is what Gabe sounds like.
Just kidding. You thought that was what Gabe sounds like? That's wrong. I'm Gabe. This is what I sound like. Gabe.
Now, me, Caleb, this is what I sound like. And Gabe, this is what Josh sounds like sometimes. That's the dog.
That's a dog, silly.
And Gabe, give us a little taste of that tasty voice.
Hi.
So that's it. That's all you get. You got to go on that. Guys, we've got a lot to get to today, and we wasted a lot of time on top. So let's get right into it. We're going to hear this is from a new podcast contributor, someone we haven't heard from previously. But they pose an interesting question. I'll let them introduce themselves.
Hello, my name is Fizbin Montague Crenshinaban. That's Crenshinaban. Don't try and call me Cinnabon. It's been tried before, and the speakers have since been transmutated into a pair of disgusting spotted copulating slugs. Yes, that's right. I'm a wizard, and I have one question for you all. What is your greatest fear? The reason I ask is that I have found that some of my spells have lost a bit of potency in recent years. My foes seem to not care as much about an invocation of a giant phantasmal zombie hand reaching out to grab them, or the illusory creation of a rust monster extremely fond of corroding ferrous metals and making a meal of them. What is a wizard to do? Advice, please. I promise I won't use this information on you. It's a magic promise. A wizard's promise.
Don't have a ton of hope that he will not use these things against us.
Right.
Yeah.
No, I mean, there's we need to tread lightly, clearly.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, maybe we should use. So think of the real one,
Right.
and then maybe. Or can we go off mic? Really
let's
quick?
yeah,
Yeah,
we'll
let's go off
the
mic.
Okay. So think of the real one,
Right.
but don't say it.
Right.
Right.
Do a fake one.
Do a fake one.
Yeah.
What if I do yours
Oh, that's good.
and then you do mine
Okay.
and then Josh just does it?
Yeah, that's a good idea. I was getting worried because I did a lot of preparation for my negligible one, but I was worried.
No.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. No. I like that. Gabe.
No. I think we just
do our own.
I think we just do our own.
Should we hint
But we should
at the
tell them
fact that
they're
we
all
didn't
different
do? Yeah, we're actually taking from a grab bag
Yeah.
and choosing.
Okay. Yeah.
It's a grab bag full of 3 names.
Yeah.
There's a bunch of 3 names. It's all ours, but there's a
Yeah.
bunch of them.
Okay.
So there's more volume to choose from. But okay, back on mic.
Back
Or
on,
what?
okay,
back
let's
on
go
mic.
back on mic. Yeah, so we're all doing the things that we're definitely most scared of.
Mm-hmm.
For sure.
We're being so open and honest because we are. I mean, I'm on record prior to this as being someone who believes in a wizard's promise.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's true.
I've had problems believing in wizard's promises, but I'm
Right.
going to put that behind me today,
Right.
and I'm going to accept the wizard's,
wizard's
promise.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Gabe?
Yeah. I mean, listen, it's pretty common for people to have wizard trust issues
Yeah.
Yep.
in today's day and age.
Yeah.
This day and age.
Yeah, today's
But-
day and age.
Yeah. And yesterday's.
Yeah. Right.
But yeah, I mean, I think I'm gonna hold Fitzbizwin. What's his name?
Well, I don't know if you want to
It's
just
kind of
have
a
a
whole
guess and get
thing.
it wrong
Okay, sorry.
because he seems kind of touchy.
I
about it.
apologize.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, no, I got the first name wrong,
Right,
not the
right.
second name.
That's true. The
That
third.
one's fine.
The third name.
Yeah. So yeah,
Fizbin.
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 Maybe it's just best to stick to Fizbin.
Fizbin.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah. So I thought it might be helpful to kind of lay the groundwork here for what he's talking about because I think it's true that phantasmal zombie hands just don't have
Yeah.
the same kind of purchase on our imaginations that they once did.
No. It's like movie magic.
Yep.
Whatever.
Yeah, exactly. We're all kind of like, okay, that's CGI, blah, 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 you know.
This might as well be
oh,
a distressed pumpkin that's
Right.
supposed to scare me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think that, ferrous, corrosive monsters that eat rust, that cause rust and then eat rust,
Mhm.
Yep.
not very scary to me either.
Yeah.
That sounds like a farmer.
Yeah.
Or it sounds like it would be scary to like robot, which
Oh, that's true.
I'm not.
Yeah.
I'm not a robot.
Well,
let me go on record. I'm not a robot.
I'm not a robot
Yeah.
either. But with these devices
back
now
off
these
record.
days,
Okay.
you're back on record. Good.
Back off record.
Oh, back
Oh,
off record.
yeah.
With these with these devices these days, we are all becoming a little more like a robot.
Yeah, you're not
So I'll
wrong.
have to admit to being a little bit of a robot.
Okay, I'll go on record and say I could be I'm tending towards robot.
More and more of a robot
Yes.
all the time. But I was just thinking of how in my youth definitely I was scared of like a phantasmal zombie hand
Sure.
Yeah,
reaching out towards me.
yeah. I'm back off record, but yes.
Yeah. That's kind of like a thing of childhood.
Mm-hmm.
It's just a
Yes.
phase we go through.
Yeah.
Yeah, being scared
Development.
of a phantasmal zombie hand is something that
It's a rite of passage.
you
Right.
pass through the hand.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's what
exactly.
in our family, that's what we
And
I
now-
see you've passed through the hand.
Yeah. And now these days, if I see a phantasmal zombie hand jutting out at me, I will. I'm not going to say I don't startle.
Sure.
Oh, right.
That's just that. That's just that's something your brain does.
That's not something you're
But it's not-
constantly afraid of.
Right.
It's
Yeah.
just startling.
Right.
You're not afraid of a man scaring you when you get out of the bathroom,
Right.
but if they do,
Yeah.
then it's startling.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
If you're getting out of the bathroom and there's a man standing there,
Yeah, it's startling.
Especially if you're not super confident about what you did in the bathroom.
Right.
And he's there to check.
Right. You get out and it actually says on his shirt, like doo-doo inspector or something.
Yeah.
Like, okay, not that. That's gross.
That would just
but,
make me laugh.
But yeah, that's true. That
That's
kind of
more
makes
funny.
it less scary.
That's where comedy
But
and
you
horror.
You laugh and then you go, oh no, he means mine.
Yeah. Right.
Now you're scared.
Yeah.
yeah.
This is all. Everything looks like it's
The
in order.
board. The way that you have to kind of stand there and listen
right
as he evaluates
against each
And he-
criteria.
He kind of he's got his checklist. He's moving down the clipboard and making his marks and
And he goes, good. I'm glad you didn't flush.
yeah.
And you
First
go,
of all-
oh, you go, right. Yes, I meant not to.
That was intentional.
that was intentional.
A big brown A+.
Yeah. Brown marker. It is fun to work at a company where we can afford to employ somebody to take care.
It's an extremely comprehensive healthcare package.
Yeah, it is. It is.
In our modern age, there are all kinds of new anxieties. So many of them come from, I think, and I think most of the statistics will bear me out on this, social media. And I know, I don't know about you guys, but for me, there was a long time where I really lived in fear of, you guessed it, going viral.
Oh.
It is a sickness.
Yeah. And it
Yeah.
was, and that used to be, that was another phase for me. I used to really dominate.
Mm-hmm.
For me, it was going viral.
I'm
Yeah.
afraid I might go
no.
viral. And then
I'm going to go viral and my life will never be the same.
Yeah.
yes,
Yeah.
it's going to be, not only am I going to be afflicted by this, but I will be the affliction.
Right. I'm part of the problem.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But,
But
yeah.
but then it happens to you and you're like, actually it's no big deal. Like you remember
Yeah.
when I got involved in that Forest Service PSA
Mm-hmm.
and I was I was cast to be the pit toilet gnome
Yeah.
in the to remind people not to throw their trash down in
Yeah.
the pit toilet because it's hard to
It's
remove.
very
It's
difficult.
very
to
difficult to
It's
remove.
difficult to remove.
And so that I was a pit toilet gnome who lived down in the pit toilet, and
Here's
they
my
wanted to put a
question.
sympathetic face
Mm-hmm.
on the person that has to remove it.
Right.
And so they cast me, and I was the pit toilet gnome
See-
squatty, the pit toilet gnome, and I was so annoyed whenever I had to remove trash.
And you're
Yeah.
like, okay, this is my question here. Is
Yeah.
it actually difficult to remove, or is it just really gross and unpleasant? and people don't want to do
That
it.
well, see, that was
It's
part
not
of
hard
That's
to
what
remove
part
it.
of what they were trying to get ahead of. They were like he lives in the toilet. So they were like it's not that it's gross. It's that it is hard to.
It's that it's hard to remove. He's fine with living in there. He is, and he's sort of a duty inspector too.
Sure.
Yeah,
Definitely,
he's like the small. Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, you got to have a small guy to be part of that job
Exactly.
too. In that, especially in that realm.
But
it is a different realm.
yeah, a totally different realm, and I found myself just thrust into a completely different realm after that when it went viral.
Yeah.
And the Forest Service was, initially very pleased because we were getting so many clicks and hits,
Yeah.
and people were sharing it everywhere.
Huge engagement.
It was huge engagement, but then they started to notice that there was actually a huge uptick in people putting trash into pit toilets because they actually they didn't like me and they wanted to make my life difficult.
They wanted to see more like the downward trajectory of Squatty's life.
It backfired
Yeah.
big time, and that was hard. But then, I kind of realized that actually, there was
wait.
it was a whole debacle. They actually they had to spend so much time removing stuff.
Yeah.
And it is so hard.
Yeah.
It's
So
so
very
difficult.
difficult.
What you're saying is, for Squatty,
Yeah,
in his life,
yeah,
you've thought about this, I'm
Right.
sure, to get into
yeah.
character.
Well, I did.
Yeah.
I created
Journal,
a backstory.
did a
Yeah.
backstory. He's sitting in his home,
Yeah.
a toilet, and there's stuff coming down,
Yeah.
and he's like, good. I like
That's
it.
normal.
Yeah.
I like it. This is good. Some trash goes down,
Yeah.
and he goes,
No,
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 way. Absolutely
He's like,
not.
This doesn't belong here.
Yeah.
I have to remove this.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, it's-
Yeah.
Other stuff is just raining down
Yeah.
on him, and he's like,
He's
What is
like,
that? An instant oatmeal packet? No.
No.
no. Wait, actual food,
Yeah.
undigested food. Get this out of
Yeah.
here.
No, I don't. I mean, the food's pretty biodegradable. I don't think that's such
That's
an issue.
not
But
as
it's
big
like
of a
you're
deal.
throwing a LaCroix can down there and all that. And
Yeah.
Oh,
it's really ruining Squatty's day.
Bro.
Yeah, yeah, that was the line, bro. And but anyway, so the Forest Service got so annoyed at this, they sued me for damages.
Oh,
You guys know I'm still in debt. But what I'm saying is, you go through this greatest fear
yes.
that this kind of thing would happen. But then you realize actually this is a blessing, because I felt like when things were going really well for with my career representing the Squatty, the pit toilet gnome,
Yes.
that it was that was kind of actually a low point for me. Motivation wise. Whereas now that I'm paying off kind of an extensive debt,
Yeah.
I am hungry.
Yeah.
I am actually hungry
Yes.
Because I
Now
don't
you
have-
have something to work.
I don't have
for,
money
work towards.
to buy food.
Right.
And I'm experiencing autophagy, and my body's cannibalizing. I'm losing lots of muscle mass.
Right. You're actually becoming sort
But
of small like a gnome.
I'm becoming small like a gnome.
Yes.
So I'm even better for other gnome parts.
Well, so I was going to ask, what? Now, maybe this is just something someone said to me, and it's not bears no
Right.
real truth.
yeah.
But isn't part of the deal that you have to use Squatty to make that money, to pay that any money that it has to be sourced from your
It was
work as Squatty?
It was an unorthodox contract.
So you have to kind of like rehabilitate the character Squatty.
I have to do what
That's partially what they want, and you have to pay X amount
Yeah,
out of that
it's-
Squatty money.
Yeah.
and it's but again, those challenges feed me.
Yes.
Not literally, I'm very hungry.
Sure.
Right.
But
right.
those challenges are they're making me work. And
Yeah.
that,
Yep.
I'm really grateful for that.
No, that's great. Have you thought about like maybe trying to make yourself the spokesperson for the Squatty Potty, the toilet? Like it's perfect.
Well, here's the thing:
Those
is
little leg lifters.
I don't think I forget exactly how the contract like what the judge's final sort of, his decision was, but I'm not sure. It's going to be hard to rehabilitate Squatty.
Yeah.
Like so maybe if there's a way that I can kind of lean in to his just inherent unlikability.
Right. You make him a heel.
Yeah.
Like he's the I mean, the first thing that came to mind for me was the Noid.
Yeah.
For
Okay.
Domino's.
Right. Domino's
Yeah.
Noid.
The Domino's Noid.
The pizza
who's trying
ruining-
to steal or ruin your pizzas.
Yeah.
So use that.
Yes. That's good. I think if we could,
He's the Noid of toilets.
he's the Noid of toilets. Of pit
Avoid
toilets.
the noid.
Yeah. Avoid the Noid.
Or the oid, like a hemorrhoid, like he's gonna give you hemorrhoids.
Okay. Yeah.
Unhome the gnome.
That's good.
I don't know how that works exactly.
I don't
with
know
the
either,
rest
but
of
I
the
like
campaign.
it.
We want him to be, even though we're fighting houselessness, we want
Yeah.
the gnome to be houseless.
Yeah,
Right.
houseless. So that's okay. That's interesting for you.
So the better angle for the Forest Service would be that this Squatty the toilet gnome is unlikable.
Right.
You do not and what he does is when you throw trash
Yeah.
in there, he
Yeah.
builds a little house in the pit
Right.
toilet out of it.
Yep.
And we don't want that.
We
We
don't
don't
want
want him
that.
down there. So we're not going to get into why we don't want him living in the toilets.
Yeah.
But trust me, none of us want him down there.
Down there, we don't want to give him building materials.
So the
don't-
house.
Yeah.
So he doesn't live in the pit toilet, but the pit toilet is like his.
His
like
biome.
his biome. Yeah, and he can
it's his-
live longer in the biome if he has materials to construct himself
That's
a
right.
home.
Natural
So,
habitat
yeah.
that is resource poor. Like it is not.
Yeah.
There's not a lot of resources for
No,
him.
no.
There's plenty of.
This is going to be a very popular episode
Sorry.
with the ladies.
Sorry.
But the
When it rains, it pours.
yeah, I know it's foreskins 1 week. But that's all to say. That's not my greatest fear anymore. Currently, I'm not always much of a rule follower. We've talked about the nanny state. I don't need to be told how to live my life.
Right.
But there are some rules that I think are good and they're for our safety and we should obey them.
You're right. Right.
So when I'm looking at a dumpster and it says do not play on or in or around.
Or around.
And
Yeah.
that I believe that we should really respect that. And for me, it can be hard to follow that rule. Sometimes when I'm playing, I'm playing,
Yeah.
and I get so focused on playing that I look up, and darn if I'm not playing right next to a dumpster.
Yeah.
Right around a dumpster.
No.
Yeah.
And that, and the stakes are so high.
I don't blame you for that.
The
Josh.
stakes are so, well, I know, just when, how I get
Yeah.
when I'm playing.
Yeah. I know.
I'll just
Yeah.
get so lost in my own
It's a
little
flow
world.
state.
Yeah.
sort of
Flow
thing.
state of play.
Yeah. So anyway, that to me is my greatest fear, is that I'll be playing and I'll forget everything, forget the world itself, and that I will be playing in, on, or around a dumpster.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah. I didn't ever realize it was the around part because that's really a big one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because around is just such a general
Right.
term.
There's no limit.
How do you know?
And I play in places where there's lots of dumpsters.
Right.
You know?
Right. I've
Like
seen
in an
yeah.
alleyway.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Part of the play is like it's almost like you need a dumpster to be around
Right.
to be playing.
Yeah. To even
So it's
feel
a
like
real
I'm playing.
right. Right.
Yeah. And, I mean, yeah, it's alleyways are best for stick and hoop.
Yep.
Yep.
And jacks.
Jacks.
Yeah, really can't beat it.
Yep.
And are you really playing jacks if
Pogs.
there isn't that sort of like
Yeah.
waft of like rotting cantaloupe
Exactly.
smell floating
Yeah, no, you're
beneath your
not.
nose?
You've got to feel as though there's a tenement building nearby.
Right.
If you
Right.
want to really play the whole Jack's experience, get
'Cause-
lost.
And
Yeah.
and it gets cold out, and you need to keep warm, so you get a barrel, and you put
Right.
fire in the barrel.
Mhm.
But where's that gonna be?
And is that-
Nowhere but an
and is-
alleyway near some
exactly.
dumpsters.
Near
And
dumpster.
is a barrel a dumpster? And should I even
Right.
be starting a
That's
fire
true.
Mm-hmm.
and playing?
Is
'Cause
that
it
is
a
a
kind,
is
for me,
fire a kind of way to play?
For me, it is kind of.
Yeah, that's true.
So
Yeah,
anyway,
okay.
that really is where when I'm up at night,
Mm-hmm.
just
Did I?
catatonic,
Mm-hmm.
sick with dread. That's what I'm thinking.
Did I play around a
Am
dumpster
I
today,
going to be playing?
or will
Yeah.
I tomorrow?
Will I
did.
tomorrow?
I know for sure I did today.
Yeah.
I remember when
Yeah.
I came out of my trance,
Yep.
and there that warning was right there.
Yep.
And then, is that going to happen tomorrow? I guess I'm going to have to not play as hard.
Dear Lord, please help today go well. God, please keep me from playing upstairs.
That is my fervent morning prayer.
Gabe,
Yeah, it's a question.
do you need more time?
No, I had.
Okay.
Well, I mean, I was just about to say how I've thought about this a lot, and
Yeah.
Great.
it's a question that inspires a lot of introspection, and it thinks about what your goals are. It does.
Mm-hmm.
It makes you think
The
about
question
what.
makes
Yeah.
the question thinks
The question's thinking, what are your goals?
Yep.
No, but it does make you think about what your goals are, what your hopes and dreams are, and then kind of what that can provide the context for what might be your greatest fear. So I guess that I would have to say my greatest fear is waking up one day pancakes for hands.
Oh yeah.
So that would be
Yeah.
terrible. It would be awful.
So, related to the goals.
What do you mean? Well,
So you're saying
it
one of
would
your
really-
goals would be that you would want to have worked to make your hands
Oh, I
pancakes,
see.
or
The
because
inst-
now you
yeah.
woke up and all of a sudden
Yeah,
it's
since-
already done.
did I
No?
even earn this?
Yeah, you wake up and you go, did I even
Is this
earn
like
these?"
stolen valor? Kind of like a
hands.
weird. Is somebody gonna film themselves calling me out
Yeah.
and get huge engagement, lots of likes and clicks?
Right.
Right.
Or
This guy doesn't even deserve to have
Yeah.
pancake.
excuse me. Do you know that there were plenty of people that died to have pancake hands?
In the pursuit
Yeah.
of figuring out the technology, and now you just
now
wake
you-
up
oh.
and have it.
Yeah, creating a country where we could all have pancake.
Yeah. Or it's equal opportunity,
Yeah.
man. If you want
Yeah.
pancake hands, it's not just the rich elites who get to have
Right.
pancake.
Nope.
Yeah.
It's not
I
some
mean,
oligarchy of pancake
it's one
Yeah.
percenters.
'Cause
nobility.
And the
Yep.
cool thing is, once you figure out that technology, you're forging that path for other people, like we said,
Yeah.
and then also
It's
path forward for
equalizing.
like, hey, you want waffle hands, you want waffle fry
Well,
hands.
see, this actually
or-
does kind of tie into my bigger thing, which is to wake up and have pancake hands would be so disappointing
Yeah.
because you would know that it's possible to have breakfast food hands.
Right.
Right.
And we all know that pancakes are one of the worst breakfast foods.
I agree.
Pretty much
They
useless.
always sound good, but then you do
Yep.
it, and it's just not as good as you.
You know what's
thought.
good? You know what a good amount of pancake is? A bite.
Yeah.
Like a bite
Yep.
of pancake is
Yep.
great.
I agree.
But they are they're
From a
very
stack.
inferior.
A
Sure.
bite from a stack.
So
you
you're
got to
talking-
make several pancakes.
Technically, it's 2 or 3
Stack
bites.
'em up.
Yeah.
Sure.
and then cut one
Yeah.
bite out of the stack.
Yeah.
But waffles are much superior to pancakes.
Oh, yeah.
So
Yeah, crispy surface area way higher.
if I woke up with waffle hands, that's not really a hope,
Yeah.
but it is just kind of I'd be much more pleased about that than pancake hands.
Absolutely. Absolutely. There's
Yeah.
just no question.
It's just not far enough. You go, so this can't, breakfast foods can be hands.
Yeah,
We
it's
live
almost
in a world where that's true.
Yes.
But now I got these.
this
Now
is
I
the
ended
best
up
I
with
got.
I would have preferred Abel's
Pancakes?
big Abel skivers. Even to these.
Able skivers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Abel skivers.
Yeah, I mean,
Or maybe a bunch made together so they could actually be functional hands too.
yeah. Articulating.
What about a combination of things? Like
I mean-
a pancake palm and then Abel skiver fingers. Is
Yeah,
that
I
good?
mean, that would be good. At that point, you might as well just go French toast fingers.
yeah.
French
French
toast
toast stick.
fingers.
Okay,
right.
okay, okay.
But
yeah.
here's the thing: is for me this is sort of a non-question because I already have sausages for fingers.
Okay, that's true.
Disgusting
That's true.
sausage fingers.
Bacon maple
I have
sausage.
sausage patty palms.
Yeah, sausage patty palms.
People have told me.
What up, sausage patty palms?
What's up, palms?
Where are you going with
Yeah,
that?
get a whole different meaning to greasy palms. Grease
Yeah,
my
that's true.
palm.
Grease my
Grease my palm.
That means just
Actually-
actual grease.
If we do a high five, your palm's gonna be
Yeah,
greased.
I'm gonna grease your palm just by shaking your hand.
So yeah,
Hi,
pancake
I got
hands.
sausage patty palms.
Pancake hands.
Pancake hands. Sausage patty
Definitely a
palms.
fear that I've dealt with. Not one of my primary ones,
Sure.
but a big one.
Yeah.
And I guess that just that's pretty good. That's okay.
Yeah,
That's a
that's
fine.
that's
okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Caleb,
Yeah.
what about you?
Okay, for me, I will just have to say that one of my greatest fears is growing old, and my kids are still living at home with me. I have many pets. I die in my house, and then my kids feed me to my pets.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
freaky.
And that's a lot of that is based in like things they've said.
Like promises they've made.
Yeah.
Yeah. My oldest is 9, but yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like
Yeah.
because I have a kid, that's not something that I worry about.
Yeah.
But if my kid had said the things that your kids have said to
Right.
you, that would be on my
These are
radar.
based in
It would be in the
reality.
back of your mind. a
These
lot.
are based in reality. Yes,
Yeah.
this fear is like my
Yeah.
kids have thought about this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mainly because I was talking to my wife one morning and saying, "Isn't it terrible? People who get so obsessed with their pets, and they have all these pets, and even if you're good to a pet, if you die in the home with the pet." And there's no food for them. They eat all the other food. They'll wait. A dog will wait.
Yeah,
if
I
you've
was
been
gonna
good to
say,
the dog.
yeah.
A dog will wait for a while.
Yeah.
But eventually, that dog gonna eat you.
Yeah.
I think a lot of people have found that cats
Do it quicker.
They will go first.
They
They'll go
go-
for you first.
Yep.
Yeah.
Because they have an understanding of the shelf life of the
Right.
the dry kibble
This
and
person's
things
not
like
gonna
that.
be
Yeah.
good later.
This is gonna be better fresh,
Yes.
and that stuff will
Yes.
hold.
This stuff will hold. You
Yeah.
got to take care of this first. Dogs.
They'll prioritize.
And then I guess you could make the argument dogs are just like, I'm going to like this better later.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
I'm gonna wait till it gets really, really gross. It's already kind of gross, but it's gonna get much more
Much
gross.
grosser, yeah.
Yeah.
So I was explaining that to my wife. Isn't that crazy? And
Yeah.
my kids are like, okay. And I was like, I'm so glad I've been putting all this energy and time into my kids
Right.
and disciplining them and making sure they're, becoming responsible adults. And then my oldest got an idea.
Yeah. Well,
Mm-hmm.
in a lot of in a huge part of that is being fiscally responsible.
Right.
And they're like, here's an opportunity.
Yes.
To save some money.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's
Yeah.
definitely.
There's,
Yeah.
they've made it like that's that's the
Yeah.
reason why.
okay,
Yeah.
okay.
So,
Yeah.
well, Dad, it's not because of anything else besides being fiscally responsible. We
Right.
save on what we'd be feeding the animals. for that
And you
time.
don't spend the money on a funeral.
Right.
And it's kind of crazy how it works out, but like a funeral is about the same cost as a trip to Disney World for like a handful of people.
Right,
Like
handful of people. Yep.
It's really just one of those things that proves that Satan is real because it's
Right.
like that's just a reality that we live in.
Yeah.
Right.
That
Right. You can
you-
either have a funeral
you-
or go to Disney World.
If a loved one dies,
Yeah.
each of us is
Yeah.
presented with this
With this-
option, this choice.
Yeah.
Okay.
You know?
Someone I
It's a
love
real
died.
Faustian bargain.
Yeah.
Someone I love died. Now, do I go to Disney World?
Right.
to celebrate their life.
So I'm gonna be spending $15,000 either way.
Yeah. I could save money on the funeral and go
Right.
to Disney World.
Yeah, by letting my animals eat my. Kids are so messed up, man.
Yeah, the kids these days, man. Kids these days.
So that, I mean, yeah, that's you guys have both posed really dramatic, fears that I think are relatable.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And yeah, you're welcome.
Yeah. Thank you so much.
And I thought maybe do we have any kind of thoughts that we wanted to sum up for Fizbin here? You know, he asked us what are our greatest fears. We've been very honest and open.
Yeah.
Yeah.
About what our fears
I
are.
think actually, because I think at the end he just said, please advise or something like that.
Yeah.
And I think generally, if you're going for, it may not be an individual's greatest fear,
Right.
but
I just want to. I don't think he did say please advise. Maybe you mean something different.
what did he mean?
Oh,
What
well,
did he say?
I think he said. What are your greatest fears? And I'm not going to use them against you.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
And
But at the end, he asked for advice because I think
Okay.
the idea was that, you know,
well,
the
he's going to
fears
get
that
it no matter what.
yeah,
the fears he's gone to
yeah,
commonly
have lost their
yes,
currency.
exactly.
Right.
Right.
And so I think probably if you're going to, if in order to, you know, succeed in casting a spell or a hex on
Right.
somebody and you need to know their greatest fear, just go with getting pants in front of their crush. Like
That's
that,
good.
That pretty much works across
That's
the
pretty
board.
much that pretty much works across
Yeah.
the board. My advice is going to be a little bit more intensive, which is spend some time with the person you're
Mhm.
going to curse.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Get to know them.
Yep.
Hang out with them.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Go see a movie together. Have
Yeah.
dinner. Talk.
Yeah, maybe they develop
You'll-
a crush on you.
Yeah. Right. There's
Yeah.
that, and then
And then it'll be really easy. You know,
to carry out your thing.
Yeah.
For sure. But yeah.
You get if you then get a phantasmal zombie hand to pants them in front of you.
That's good.
Oh yeah.
Perfect.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
And
Now
that
you
way-
can use that other
Right.
that other
The
technology,
skill that you've developed.
magic technology.
Phantasmal zombie hand gets a bone.
Yep.
I'm sure it'd prefer some flesh, but
Yeah, Right. or
throwing a bone.
brains.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A brain bone.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Anyway, sorry.
That's why I call it. That's why I call it skull.
Yeah. My brain
Old
bone.
brain bone.
Yeah. So that is our show. Thanks so much. Oh, I'm sorry, Caleb. Go
Caleb
ahead.
had more to
that's
say
great.
on it.
Let's go off mic really quick.
Okay. Yeah, we
Yeah,
should.
okay.
We should real quick.
I just wanted to say to everyone that's listening,
Okay.
off mic,
Right. So
that
Josh,
part of the technique we displayed this week is you can't answer everything honestly. Honesty is a good way forward.
It's the
But
best policy.
sometimes it's the best policy, but sometimes
there's a better policy.
sometimes there's a better policy, right? And it's not always available. But when you see it, you should take it.
Well-
and your answer will hopefully lead to understanding. Your deceitful answer.
Right.
You know, sometimes you need to protect yourself when
Yes.
you're answering a question.
Yes.
Sometimes you need to protect yourself.
You got to think. That's one of the most important techniques is to think of everything.
Yes,
Right. And guard against every possibility.
Right. Right. And so sometimes that does mean
Yeah.
lying a little bit.
well, and like for me, it's like honestly,
Yeah.
if Fitzy
And
Busy
do you mean
give
that?
me some big pancake hands,
Yeah.
would I be that pissed? No.
Oh, that's
I wouldn't be that pissed
That's a good point.
because
Yeah, when you have to think about the attitude of the person asking the question, are they aggressive?
Yeah.
Are they antagonistic? Are they coming after me? That's going to change how you answer that question.
obviously,
You're going to lie.
exactly, yeah, totally.
Yeah,
So,
exactly.
That's what we demonstrated today,
That's what we did today.
and that's just for us.
Yeah. Would I be so pissed if my children fed me to my pets?
No. I want you want them. You don't care. You want them to go to Disneyland.
Right. I want to give that to my kids. And if my pets,
Take the pets.
look,
Take the pets to Disney.
I've
You've
spent
saved so much money.
get the room in the Disneyland resort that allows for pets.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
No, that's very good. Thanks so much for listening. This has been Advanced Answering Techniques. You can send us your questions if you'd like them answered using our patented answering techniques. You can send that to advancedansweringtechniques@gmail.com. congratulations on another great episode, Caleb.
Way to go,
Congratulations,
guys.
Gabe.
you.
Congratulations,
Thank
Josh
you, Gabe.
and
Thank you,
Caleb.
Josh. You guys did great
Thank
out
you, guys.
there. Appreciate it.
Great
Hands
work.
in.
I like the
Hands in.
hustle.
Hands in.
Hands
oh,
in.
thank
Hands
you.
out.
Thanks for the hustle. Hands in.
Hands in.
Okay.
Hands out.
Hands out.
Okay, one more time.
Hands in.
And hands out.
And hands off, Caleb.
Sorry.
Bye.
Bye.
When I was 4 or 5 years old, I saw a movie just a bit too soon. The name of the movie was Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom. Under the cold, bright light of an aspirin-colored moon, I felt that the kid's heart got ripped out just a little too soon. It's all happening a little too soon. It's all happening a little too soon. It's all happening a little too soon. 3 decades later, I saw the film Under the Skin. That wasn't the right time to watch that movie. I don't know when, wouldn't be too soon, just a little too soon. When's the right time to have a movie rip you apart? When's the right time to have a movie tear out your heart?